Hi, ladies. Welcome to another episode of the Femalepreneur Coach podcast. I am your host, Rebecca Barr, and I'm super excited to record today's episode and share it with you all around how to price your services with integrity. This is something that I just see really go awry when it comes to women pricing online. You have like both ends of the spectrum. As I mentioned earlier in my group, I'm currently writing a money mindset book for female entrepreneurs. I'm in the process of doing that, and this has come up a lot throughout the book writing process, because I've got so many examples of incredible clients and women that were either massively undercharging their services, or they were charging out of alignment with what their belief system actually told them was possible for them. So therefore they weren't ever getting the conversions because they couldn't really sell with conviction. They felt like a fraud at every point, and they really undermined their own success. Or they, get loads of money and then sabotage and not be able to hold on to it and all the things. So that's why I felt really compelled to share this episode today, because I had a conversation recently with a potential client, somebody that was in a peer mastermind group, and all I could say was, I'm a money mindset coach, but literally the audacity coming into the coaching space. It's like two ends of the spectrum. You get the women that will literally work for free forevermore until the end, amen, until somebody taps them on the shoulder and says you're worthy of increasing your prices. Or you will get other women that are just so bold, so audacious, so entitled that quite frankly they're taking the piss with their prices. They've got no social proof, no results for their clients. They literally have just come in with a sense of entitlement. That I saw somebody online that told me that I could make £10,000 a month in my pants without doing a thing. So that's what I'm here for. And it just blows my mind. So obviously for me, my own personal journey when it came to pricing my services was I did it very much in incremental steps, because it enabled me to fully embody my work at that level before I intuitively felt like I'm ready to move on. And then when it came to selling at that new price point, it was like a of course moment. It wasn't a like, I hope that they pay it, and then that would be great. It was of course they're going to pay this, because I'm absolutely worth it, and the results that I get for my clients and the money that I'm investing in myself, like it became that whole like, now you're getting this version of me at this price point, this level of proximity. And it has always felt very much an integrity. So at the beginning of my journey, I was charging like £350 for 6 weeks coaching, and that continued for quite a while actually, before I really started to like kind of refine my processes, refine my offers. I was charging more offline clients with people with physical businesses than I was charging women online, which was because I had all of these beliefs that they couldn't afford it and all the things. Even though I myself had invested thousands into coaching, I had this belief that women online, perhaps weren't as committed and didn't have the disposable cash that I did, and all of the things. And then I gradually increased that in increments. And part of that became, was because I obviously, had confidence and conviction in the results that I could get my clients. But it was also, I was ready to move on with the kind of points in the journey at which I was working with women. So I went from startups to scale ups, because that was mirroring the journey that I'd had, and that felt really exciting. So now obviously it's 5-figure investments and above. Well, it's 5-figure investments, to be fair, it's not above yet, but and I hold that price firm because of everything that I bring to the table over my nearly 9 years in business, the nearly £100,000 that I've invested into myself. Like, I am in integrity with everything that I offer, that I sell. I'm not asking people to buy stuff that I haven't invested in or I don't see the value in, and all of the things. So I wanted to, and this is one of the questions that I often get asked about, what should I price that at? And what I would say is I've kind of distilled it down into a few do's and don'ts, but ultimately it has to feel good to you. It's got to be a price at which it feels expansive, a little bit exciting. Like if you've got a client at that price point, it would really light your soul, not like probably could have charged more, and there's nothing worse than lowballing yourself and knowing that somebody would have paid more, and then kind of going into a commitment with that energy. So these are my kind of do's and don'ts right now. So the first one, pricing with integrity 101, is don't take the piss. don't come into the industry and not be prepared to not do your time, because I don't believe in that, but hone your craft, like become the master at what you do. And that comes through trial and error. You know, even the best of us, I had a really high achieving corporate career. I had a really strong entrepreneurial journey, but even coming into the online space as a business coach, it was like, there's a few things I need to learn, you know, a few systems, processes, software, how to package like my services. And I was humble in that. It's like, you know, that's me committing to, when I work with somebody, I'm giving them the latest of everything, every strategy, every software, every approach. I'm giving them all the options and I'm tailoring it to that. Not just, I did a course one time and now I'm regurgitating it. I also went away and, like I say, embodied that work. I tested it. Even now in the Aligned, Empowered and Abundant Academy, there's modules that I won't create yet because I'm still in testing phase of that. So once I've then tested, refined, got the results for myself, you best believe I'm going to add it in there, because that I want that to be the one-stop shop academy for every female business owner. So of course I'm going to continue to allow that to evolve and expand, but I can't do that because I did a course and I did a thing and now I'm just regurgitating it. I've got to go away and embed it. I've got to go away and learn it. I've got to go away and test and commit to mastery before I then pass it on to somebody else. So that's what I would say. Like, rule 101, don't take the mic. Don't listen to what other coaches are telling you can do. I worked with a coach once, who basically on our first session told me to triple my prices. And I was like, okay, based on what? And they were like, because you're worth it. And I'm like, let's be honest, my prices are nothing. There is no attachment between my prices and my worth in this world. I'm priceless. So I'm not going to do it from a place of entitlement. I was like, you know, is there a reason why? No, just do it because people will pay it. So people will pay it, so you can charge it. And there's people charging more, so you should. And it was like, that didn't feel very good. I was like, no, I'm happy to take your feedback on board and go back and make my own decision, i.e. looking at all of the results for my clients, looking at the bigger picture. Does that feel good to me to triple them just because somebody told me to? And because I know I could charge 100 times more, it was like, no, that didn't really feel very good. I obviously increased them because I took that feedback on board, and I'd already got to a point of capacity. So it's supply and demand is obviously a key element of that. But I certainly didn't triple them because somebody told me I could and people would pay it. You know, I don't believe that is pricing with integrity. I believe that is gaslighting from high ticket coaches who are trying to get those clients that are then like, oh, I just had an incredible high cash month, and it's like cash value month. And it's like, yeah, because you've tripled your prices because they said that you have. So, and they want that social proof. So it then becomes a bit of a pyramid scheme with coaching, where because your coach, because your coach is telling you they can, that you are, but there's no real integrity or logic or value behind it. So that doesn't really feel good to me. Don't obviously allow your money mindset stuff to creep into your prices. So as I said at the beginning, I believe that people would not be able to afford my services at a higher price point. I completely negated all of the transferable skills that I created in corporate. So I was a HR manager previously, which means it's all about people management, energy management, people like getting the most out of the resources that are available to you. It's also having a commercial focus. It's also being able to lead and inspire and motivate people. It's also about developing talent, like all of that thing, all of those skills made me the perfect business coach. And then coupled with having, 8 years in business, real world experience on the ground, building and launching and scaling and closing and highs and lows of business for over 8 years, you best believe that then added to my resilience, my resourcefulness, my creativity, my confidence, my ability to get results. Because this isn't like when people do trading online and they're just kind of playing pretend. Like when you've got real world payroll and people and landlords and children and all the things, you best believe you are going to pull it out the bag and access levels of yourself that you didn't even think were possible. So why did I not feel like that needed to be compensated when I then moved into the online space? It's like, because I didn't need the money, I didn't believe that people would have the money, I didn't charge anything. But the reality is no one wins when you do that, because it means that your prices aren't sustainable. Your business is not sustainable. And that's why female-led businesses have the highest open and close rate in this country, because we are building our businesses to scale, to last, and in a sustainable way. And that comes from charging appropriately for your services. No one gets the prize for being a really great person and making them, making their prices so accessible that anybody can join them. Because what I've learned is that my lowest paid clients are my highest hard work clients, because for some people free will not be free enough. And whenever I've tried to make myself more accessible, lower my prices to work with people, inevitably they've come just with a different vibe and energy. And that's not to say that you can't be accessible to people that need you at the lower price points. Absolutely. I feel really passionate about serving people at all points in their journey with all means. That's why I create. That's why I have a podcast. That's why I have powerful free content and weekly live trainings. That's why I have a free Facebook group. That's why I'm writing a book. That's why I have free resources on my website, because I don't believe that, support, guidance, mentorship should be only available to people that can afford it. But I also believe that if somebody's going to have access to me and proximity to me and benefit from all of that £100,000 that I've invested into myself and my commitment to mastering all of the modalities that I've spent hours away from my kids learning, you best believe I'm going to be compensated for that. I shouldn't be giving that away for free, because there's only so much I can do for free. The transformation is in the transaction. People that pay attention, and I would be doing myself and my clients a disservice if I was just available to anyone at all times. So that's why you need to start adding in those boundaries and protecting the integrity of your containers by charging appropriately. So don't allow your money mindset and BS and beliefs to come into your pricing. Don't take the mick. Don't go for market value, because what I see a lot of people do is that they kind of look around in the online space and think, right, okay, well, they're charging this, so I haven't got as much experience, there aren't as many resources, I should probably charge this. They're charging this, so I should probably charge this, and that kind of feels good. Because everybody has their own money mindset stuff. You're taking on the projection of other people, and it becomes like, can't even think what the word is, but it almost becomes like collusion, where it's like everybody's kind of getting together and saying what something needs to be priced at. I believe in originality, authenticity, and creative solutions. So create something that cannot be replicated, create something that nobody else is offering, and bring your own personal connection to that work. And then your prices and your work cannot be compared to anybody else's. Don't lowball yourself from a place of gratitude where it's like, I should just be grateful to be in the room and being supportive. Like I said, no one wins a prize for being a good person. They just win a one-way ticket to burnout and overwhelm and martyr town. Who wants to be there? It's not sustainable. Don't negate your previous experience. So as I mentioned, with my background in HR, I already had an advantage over people that were perhaps coming in from a place of personal development, like manifestation coaches and all the things, although they bring their own gifts and experience to the table. But I had very real world, translatable, transferable skills that I had completely negated because I'd only been coaching for a short time. And it's about understanding that, even our life experiences, even if it's not experience in corporate, like there's some reason why you have this connection to the work that you do, because there's always easier ways to make money, right? So if you are deciding to create a business from a place of service, then presumably there's something behind that desire to do that work. Please God, other than just because I think I can make money. There has to be something greater to it. So inevitably, you've probably got some life experience, some personal experience to this work that just adds a layer of depth to what it is that you're doing. Don't negate that and perceive that as, well, because I didn't pay for it, I can't charge for it. You can. And don't take it personally when people then say, sorry, you're too expensive. I've had that several times throughout. I don't get it often, to be fair, because I'm very good with my boundaries and setting the expectation. I create six-figure businesses. guess what? There's going to be an exchange of value in that. And I speak to my clients' results more than my own, but the opportunities, the doors that I open, I've referred over £60,000 now of business within the last few months to other female-led businesses. You need me in your corner. But guess what? There's an exchange of value there, because I understand that I do a lot above and beyond that I don't need to. I know there's business coaches out there that literally did one course one time, that are regurgitating it to clients, that don't care about their client results, that don't have integrity, that don't care or deliver in any. They are literally doing the bare minimum to make sure that they have fulfilled their contractual obligations and to make sure that they get paid. Now, I am above and beyond that. I work every day on my business. I'm working every day to update my modalities and, like I say, testing new platforms, new strategies. I went above and beyond as a business coach. I've got 6 different modalities. I didn't need that. There's business coaches out there with none, but I'm not going to do that from a place of martyr syndrome or because my strategy alone is not enough. I'm doing it because I have a place of, I have curiosity. I'm a manifesting generator. I love to learn. I'm here to expand myself and to be all I can be. However, if you're getting this versus that, best believe there's going to be an exchange of energy for that. I'm not silly. You're getting so much more than just this. Just there's that one size fits all approach. Knock yourself out. Oh, you didn't even finish it. Okay, I don't care. I got paid. This person, which is me, with the integrity and all of the other things, that nice guys don't finish last unless you allow yourself to finish last. Like if I'm doing all this extra work and you are benefiting from all this extra investment and time and energy and commitment, then I'm getting compensated for that. So that's about me having boundaries, and you also need to understand what you bring to the table. So I'd love to invite you to do that work today. And when somebody says that it's too expensive, that's okay. Like that is not the right time on their journey. I never put people under a place of pressure. I don't want to work with people if they're coming from a place of fear. Again, I actually had a coach that told me that I had to take deposits on every phone call when I did a sales call. And I was like, that doesn't feel good. And he's like, that's how you'll close sales. You need to take the deposit, you need to get the partner in the room, speak to the person directly, like get that commitment before they get off the call and then they think about it. And I'm like, but then they're going to go away and think about it. So yes, I might have the money, but I'm probably going to end up having to give it back. And also, I don't want to work with people that are coming from a place of shit, I've paid a deposit, I need to work with them now. I want people to come to me from a place of hell yes, particularly when you're working with somebody in such an intimate way, i.e. one-to-one. You have to make sure that you're aligned, and that comes from having the assurance that there will always be more clients, right? And that's really me embodying my abundance mindset and knowing that there will always be more clients. And that's what I would love for you. Know that if somebody says no, it's just creating space for somebody else who will say yes and will do it from a place of excitement. Because every time I've had somebody say something is too expensive, I've had somebody else say, I can't believe this is so cheap. And that's the duality. So you get to buy into whichever reality you want to, but I choose to work with the women that are empowered and excited and hell yes to work with me. And sometimes that means that I'm not accessible for everybody else. But like I say, I've built an offer suite out and I encourage my clients to do the same, to help with this mindset element where you can still serve them at different points in their journey and at different price points, but in different ways. You reserve your own personal energy for the highest possible conversion and compensation. So what I would say then, obviously, just recapping on the point. So don't allow your own money mindset work that needs to be done to be factored into your pricing. Don't take the mick. Don't go for market value. Don't lowball yourself from a place of gratitude. We're all taking up space and doing our, God's work. So we should all be compensated for it. Don't negate your previous experience. Don't take it personally or attach your self-worth with the worth of the value that you bring to your clients. So what I would like you to do though is take into consideration what is the value of the results that you can create to your ideal client, because that's ultimately how you should be pricing your service. What is it worth to them? And typically, if you've been on a journey and all the things, what would you have paid to move from a place of wherever you were to where you could get your clients to? Because I know back in the day when I was first starting as a business coach, I mean, there'll be elements of the journey that can't be shortcut, obviously, but I paid a £10,000, £15,000, I paid £20,000, I paid £25,000 to get that access to somebody who can show me the way and make the journey more fun, to make it less overwhelming, to give myself accountability and all the things. And that will be different for you. But if you look back at that person, if somebody had said, for this price, I can get you from where you're feeling right now to here, what would you have paid for that? What would that have meant for you? And it's not about can they afford me, because I always get my clients, when they're thinking about their ideal clients, to actually check that there is a profitability element to their niche. Can the people that you want to help actually afford you? And the reality is maybe they can't, but maybe there's somebody that's slightly further on in their journey, and then we can serve these people over here in a completely different way. Maybe, like, you don't have to forget the people that you want to help, but it's about just reserving your own energy so that your business is sustainable. This is about protecting your own boundaries so that your business can continue to thrive and grow, and your impact can continue to grow and grow and grow and grow. If you are juggling hundreds of clients, low vibe clients that are coming from a place of fear, or even just hundreds of clients because you can't charge more appropriately, how long do you think that you can continue with that business? I see so often on social media where women are taking time out from their business, and it's like, that's because you're juggling too much. You haven't built it in a sustainable way, because you're having to work with all the clients instead of a few clients, and really lean in and create transformation for those. So when you are pricing your services, do take into consideration what is the value of the results that you can create for your ideal client. It's also about adding in elements of supply and demand, like I said, about your personal energy. Not everybody gets access. If you're completely overbooked, that's a sign from the universe that you need to increase your prices. And it's about being intuitively led to that, because a lot of the time when people want to come and have more, work with me to create more sales, the reality is they don't have the capacity to work with more clients. And so therefore they're constantly in this state of conflict where they want it and they need the money, but they can't actually physically, without working extra hours and doing all the things, actually hold space for any more clients. So they're always going to get that energetic resistance to what they ultimately want. And then the final thing is, so it's obviously taking into consideration the value of the results that you can create for your ideal client, not the clients that you think can afford you, but the ones that you actually, your unicorn clients that you would actually love to work with and give an incredible service to, because the revenue's in the reviews. So the more that you work with more of a select group of clients that you can really pour into and give incredible results, the more that those results will then speak for themselves and attract more of the same kind of women and clients to you. But the last thing is, because we never want to leave money on the table, if you're not sure, always add a VIP element to your offers. So when women come to work with me, I always give them at least 2 or 3 options as to how they can work with me, because those that will pay more, allow them to pay more and get a better service. The women that are kind of stretching, make it accessible to them, but allow, even with free events, always have a paid upgrade. Always allow yourself to be in a position to receive. Never leave money on the table or any of the things, because it's just smart business, right? That's how the more ways that you can get paid, the better. I have so much content around that. I'll signpost other podcast episodes and all the things. But obviously, if you like anything that I'm speaking about right now, I'd love to invite you to come and join me inside the Aligned, Empowered and Abundant Academy 2.0 that's currently in creation mode. We've got the first couple of modules there. There'll be another one dropping today, and it's going to be drip fed over the summer. So by the time you get to September, you've already got everything that you need to create those 5K months, built on a really solid and foundation so that you can scale and sustain your success from there. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Let me know your key takeaways, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.